Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review three promotional Bionicle sets, which in fact were not released, but of course were supposed to be released in 2008. So, well, first thing to notice is that of course they were not released, so we just have the instructions and stuff like that. And second thing is that if you want to look the instructions, well, you just have to go on the Brickset website or on brickfactory.info, and well, you just have to search for the Bionicle theme in there, and you will find the instructions for this type of sets. And well, that said, let's move on with the first set, which is called kind of like the other guy, good guy. Well, of course, it's the 2008 version. And well, first we're going to begin the body frame with an Poatu Fantoka Nuva arm, as you can see right there. We're going to use two of these parts on the pinholes, which will be useful to link first some legs. So the legs looks like that, as you can see. So we're going to use an Ordica neck, then some 2008 Matawan leg arm right there, connector, and then some 2007 slicer feet, which are of course a little different than the original ones. So we're going to link the legs like that, thanks to the blue parts. Then we're going to link some axles, you can see, with a stud at the end. So axle of 3. We're going to let it slide through the hole. Second one, of course. And as you can see, now we have an axle right there, which will be useful to link the arm. So the arm are already simply made because we just have an Ordica neck and then a Karatawan arm. And that's all, in fact, there is no ends in this set. So second one, right there. And now it's time to attach the neck. The neck will be attached will be made thanks to this two light gray parts. So this one with two axle holes and one pinhole. And as you can see, the pinhole will be useful to link this T-shaped part. So I'm just going to link this part like that. Now I'm going to add the head, which is in fact an Toa Nuparu Maui mask, as you can see. Of course, I have an axle right there, so I just have to let it slide here, and then I have to link a little, this type of part, excuse me, right there. So we recognize the gray part we have already used on the neck, and also some photoc blades. So it will be linked on this pinholes right there, and here we go. We have the good guy 2008 finished. So in terms of articulation, well, you got 2 ball joints per legs, 1 ball joint per arm, and 1 point of rotation right here for the head. And finally, you can also turn the blades like that, and it will work just fine. So of course we're going to talk about these guys later on, but now let's move on to the second promotional set of 2008, which was not released, and which of course is called Bad Guy. So, well, this bad guy is this time done with, as you can see, a metro pelvis part right there, which is quite okay. Then we're going to use 2 connectors and once again 2 select blades as part of the rear legs. Now we are going to link the front legs thanks to this pin right here. So we're going to take this part, which are, as you can see, a double connector, then some Ordica neck, and once again some blades. We're going to link this like that. Notice the red axles, which will be useful to link this jetpack right there, which is already linked thanks to 2 of this 90 degrees shaped part, or bended part right there, as you can see. And also notice this axle right there, because when I'm going to link this part like that, the axle is going to enter in one of the metro pelvis pinhole, and that means that thanks to the part which is inside that, we're not, as you can see, the part will not move. And it's really nice because this means we have a strong build which doesn't, or which parts are all pretty well together, and that's it's really nice for a promotional model. Then the head, which is a little simple because it's just a connector, then a metro head. It will be linked right there thanks to the blue part. And finally the mask, which is a little less rare because it's the Jackson's canoe. Just have to link that this way, and well, here we go, the bad guy from 2008 is finished. In terms of articulation, well, you got one ball joint per limb, as you can see, and well, the head is mounted on a rotation point and then a ball joint. So you have always a choice, you can move these things the way you want. And apart from that, well, that's quite all, I think. And now time for the third and final promotional set, which is just called simply Function. So well, let's see what function it is. And first we're going to begin with a yellow technique beam right there and 2 pins. Then I'm going to link this part that you already know by now because you have already seen that in the first model. But notice that we have 2 one side axle, one side pin parts used right there. Then I'm going to link Lewa's Katana Blade right here, thanks to the pins and pinholes. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and well, of course now my parts still move like that, so I have to hold them together, and I'm going to do that thanks to this part, which is made through foot. I'm going to put the parts like that, and now I just have to link the last part, which is in fact a Zama launcher, so nothing really different except for the board I use right there. And of course I'm going to take this part here, link them like that, as you can see, and take my Zama sphere, or Zama ball, which is a trans blue one. Then I just have to link the Zama launcher to the technique beam thanks to the blue part, and well, here we go. Function is finished. Well, of course it's supposed to be his code name or name, I don't really know. And as you can see, in terms of articulation, well, we just got 2 articulations, which are 2 points of rotation, one there and one here. And then, of course, I still have the play feature, which is the Zama launcher itself, so you can launch the thing like that, and it will work just nice. And so that's all for the promotional set of 2008, guys. So now it's time for a little sum up. So that was Function, that is Good Guy, and that is Bad Guy, of course, a 4-legged creature, right there. And so let's do a sum up. So first, in a general way, I have to admit that most of them are improvement in comparison to older promotional models. They've got really nice construction, and well, we're going to see that in details because, well, now let's talk about Good Guys. So in terms of good points, well, you got the body frame, which is really interesting because it's made really out of Power Photocar arm, and it's really interesting, plus also the use of the RDCanX as ball joint for the articulation, which is quite nice and quite interesting for young mockers. Also, the overall design with the little spin right there is quite cool. And well, the only complaints I have with this personal model is that the lack of hands, which is really a little problem. Also, the lack of a real head, and also the fact that even if the body is quite cool, it's still quite empty, so you can really see all the way through it if you look at it from a side view. So well, some little problems, but still a good personal model with really a nice construction, pretty unique. Then you got the 4-legged creature, the bad guy, which is a little more simpler in terms of construction, but still quite nice because thanks to this part and the axle which goes in the pelvis, the metal pelvis part, this means the model is a strong build. It really stays, it really holds pretty well, and so except for the head, which tends to be moved on the sides like that, it's really all good and pretty nice. So also the color scheme, even if it's quite simple, so I mean dark gray and silver, it still looks pretty nice and really gives really seriously, I'm not really a fan of 4-legged creature, but I have to say that this one is quite cool. And finally, Function. So Function doesn't really have any big drawbacks, I have to admit, and so still it's really good. A nice, once again, a nice use of the parts right there. So once again, a pretty nice improvement in comparison to older promotional models. And well, that's also overall, well, it's 3 good promotional models. So of course they are not perfect. There were still some little problems here and there, but most of the promotional models are still well designed and got with some unique ideas and are pretty cool. So seriously, if you have a chance to build one of them, well, do it, because you can learn something with the build of these little promotional models, which of course, like I said, were in fact unreleased promotional sets, which were supposed to appear in 2008. And I think that's all for this review, guys. So I hope you enjoy this 3 promotional sets. So like I said, really a nice improvement in comparison to the previous years, even if we still have some nice models, in 2006 and 2007, but still, I think they are a little better than them because of their construction and some really unique ideas. And that said, well, that's all. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section of this video review. I will happily answer them. And that said, hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.